Let's see here. All right, I think we are live. Let's see if we are for sure. If we are, it'll be cool. I'm gonna. Okay, cool. Rooster's here. Okay, where's my phone going? There we go. Hey, Rooster, is my video working? I got my phone with me here too, so let me see if I can do. Should be fine now. I don't know why the computer turned off. Um, A Unfrozen. Let me see. How is my video quality? Okay, cool. It's working. So yeah, I am currently in Russia right now, and I'm on my uncle's laptop. So I want to see if it's possible for me to unplug the laptop. It might not be. Let's see here. So yeah, I am recording in St. Petersburg, Russia. This is my grandparents' apartment in Russia, in St. Petersburg. I am in like the main living room area. Give you all kind of a quick look here. It's the video of the room here. I'm not sure what this light over here is, but oh, that's the mirror. Okay, we have a mirror right there. Yeah, I want to see if it's possible to unplug the laptop. 1 second here. Desire is gonna mess it up, or should not. Okay, unplug. Okay, cool. It's working. All right. So yeah, this is the room. I'm like legit holding the laptop right here. I can show you. Just walking around with the laptop. But yeah. So basically, this is a typical Soviet apartment, authentic one. But yeah, you got your entrance door here. You walk in, and first thing you see is this room right here. So this is the first this is like what you would call like your main living room. The apartment is what you would call like a 3-bedroom apartment, technically, or a 3-room apartment, because this technically could be converted to a bedroom. But your main living room, you walk in, and is it small? I don't think it is small. It's my thinking is that it's like an average size apartment, because there's a lot of other apartments that are like 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom studio, but I think this is like a average to your upper to like a good sized apartment. Um, this is where my mom basically grew up. Um, and my grandparents lived here from like 1970s till now. Like the whole apartment building was made during the 1960s. So yeah, pretty much during the Soviet Union. But yeah, you would pretty much walk into the first room here. Um, this couch is new. We have a old couch from the spec from the Soviet Union in the other room, which I'll show in a moment. But yeah, you walk in. This is like your what do you would call this? Cabinets. Um, and pretty much since I've been in the U.S. the whole time, my um, cousin has been living here. Your dog says hello. Hello. I forgot which. You have multiple. Do you have one dog, or is it multiple dogs you have? I don't remember off the top of my head, because I know you have Dookie. I'm like having trouble remembering the names off the top of my head. Um, but yeah, as I was saying, this is like your main living room. The cabinets here. We have a TV on the other side here, and I think the room might be a little bit like mirrored. So your left is my right, or something like that. 2 dogs, 1 cat. Yeah. So I remember you had like at least two dogs. The cat for some reason completely forgot. But yeah, um, and what I don't like is that the sun is like really bright, so it's like making this weird like video effect. Um, so yeah, I have a TV here. The TV stopped working for some reason. That's kind of another story. But yeah, this is like your living room area. The couch converts into like a bed. It pulls out, and then you can kind of like flip the back of it over. I never mentioned the cat. Yeah. So this is like one room is a toilet room, another room is a bathroom, which we have the dry what do you call it, washing machine there, and we just dry clothes on the balcony here. This is the kitchen here. There's a door to the kitchen. The fridge is from the Soviet Union, but it's well era. I think it's some kind of German mark. It's Snage. Might be French. I don't know. A bigger dorm room? Yeah, it's basically like a bigger dorm room, sort of. Walk into the kitchen. I don't know why my kitchen looks small in the video. It feels a little small, like it's smaller than, of course, the house they have in the U.S. Um, so you walk in, cabinets here, sink. What else? Water. Like I don't know what it's like in Canada, but like the water in the U.S., you can like drink from um, the faucet. Here, you can't like drink from the water. Yeah, it has to go through a filter, and I don't know what the reasoning behind it. If it's something like with lead and all that, I don't know. I've heard all kinds of things. Um, yeah, and it's like a little small sink. And what I like about it is that you have a sink there, and you can dry like dishes and all that right there. And then you have like your stove cooktop here. Sort of small. I don't know what the size of this would be like. What that is exactly. Um, what else? Just food out here. More cabinets that have like different cooking ware and all that. Cabinets above here. This used to be a clock here last year. I did something stupid. I decided to take like a expo marker and just write a like clock hands there, but the thing doesn't work. There's not really any point in there. This is a new little kitchen table that we got here. Um, we have what else do we have there? I have a mirror, and we have two very old Russian icons there because they use like old Russian alphabet there. Let me see if I can even. One second here as I try to figure out how to move this. We had some curtains that we recently put up here. We have a toaster here. If that's even. I'm trying to figure out how the heck to hold the laptop here. Let me try back up into the balcony here. Yeah. It's basically a toaster, and then we have like a what do you call it? Like an electronic kettle. Um, we have the balcony here, and the video seems to be lagging a little bit. But yeah, this is typical Soviet apartment complexes. We are on like a larger building, kind of like the ones you see in the very far end there. This building is 16 floors. The average one has like 5 floors. Yeah, 5 floors, I think. It's cleaner than our house. Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird place for a toaster. It's just room. There's not a lot of room here in the apartment. Let me see if it's possible for me to have this laptop stand on a stand or something. I'm trying to figure this out how to show you the balcony. I'm like holding this very far out right now. Clothes hangers and I mean, what do you call it? Clothes dryer. Um, what really also sucks is that YouTube. Like last year, I was able to live stream from my phone, but I can't do that this time because YouTube decided to make a requirement that your channel has to have at least 1,000 subscribers in order for you to live stream from your phone. And I don't like that requirement. And apparently, people are still able to somehow surpass that. I don't know how, but that's the case that I'm in right now. I've tried to look up streaming software on a phone, and first thing I downloaded didn't work at all, so I kind of have to look around. But I finally have a laptop that can live stream. And another story about that: when I came abroad from the U.S. to Russia, two laptops, and both of them were in need of repair. And so what I ended up doing was we traded. Well, I traded both of the laptops, and I got my uncle's laptop in return. So he got one laptop, and another laptop went to one of my nephews, basically. Just get Streamlabs on your phone. Yeah, drink from the tap. Like I can do that in the U.S., but you cannot do that in Russia. And I think, um, and I heard this as a rumor. Honestly, I have no clue because I know this drinking from the tap is not a thing in Russia, and it's also not a thing in China, not a thing in Europe. Um, and something with water contamination. I've heard the case for Russia is something related to like lead contamination from like World War II or something or the other. I honestly have no idea, but we have. Let me see if I can point it like that. Yeah, that's better. Um, we have like a water filter here, and then water goes in and goes through the filter and all that. But the thing is, I think the filter is dead because it always is on zero. But no one's gotten sick. In China, you can die from lead poisoning. Never heard of that, but I know the Chinese people they don't drink from the water, and I don't know the exact reasoning behind that. But yeah, we basically use a water filter all the time, and it's gotten to the point where my grandmother thinks I'm like a water addict, like I'm nonstop drinking water. And the thing is, because like I drink water all the time in the U.S., so that basically is the reasoning why it's like that here. Oh, what else? What else? Um, so yeah, another thing. Pretty much since my family has been living in the U.S., which is basically me. I have two sisters, my mom, and my grandparents, grandfather and grandmother. We all basically were in the U.S. Now, when we came over here to Russia, basically everybody came over here except for one of my sisters. How is Coca-Cola in Russia? I tried Coca-Cola because I've heard the taste is different all around the world. I think the Coca-Cola or Coke, basically I'm going to call it now, the Coke in Russia tastes the same as in the US. There's no like extreme differences. The only weird thing is I have never seen any store that has like a soda fountain. Um, Everywhere they sell it in like a plastic bottle or in like a can, and very rarely do I see like glass Coca-Cola bottles. Almost non-existent, I would say. And of course, everything's written in Russian, so it's like um, instead of a C, it's like a K, and the L is like instead of a Latin L, it's more like Greek lambda. So it's like KOKA dash KO lambda A, if that makes any sense. In India, they have really high caffeinated Coca-Cola. I did not know that, but I'm not surprised. I remember, I think in Saudi Arabia, it's like a really weird taste. I can't remember. And then in some countries, it's like really fruity taste. I don't remember which ones off the top of my head, but I remember reading about that. Um, what else? What else? Um, so I'm gonna go into food for a little bit because food in Russia is definitely different from the U.S. or at least compared to where I lived in Charlotte. Um, and also my hair is messed up because I recently woke up. It's like what 11 in the morning. Um, so yeah, basically they have a very good variety of bread. I would say the bread is on par or maybe even better than in the U.S. Like have your white breads, dark breads. In Russia, it's kind of like they even have their own words for different kinds of bread. Like um, in the U.S., you pretty much have bread, and then you use like baguette, ciabatta, and all that. You're a bread addict? Yeah, I kind of used to be as well, but they have good breads here. What I do like is very easily to find local bakeries in Russia. Um, I can't really show from a balcony because the only thing you'll see is just Soviet buildings. I might try to show more of that a little bit later. But just to show you as an example, since actually they have bread right nearby, um, and their bread looks different. Well, on average, it looks better made. Like as an example, I would call this a white bread, um, and the color is trying to figure out how to show it easily. But this is like your standard white bread here. You can use this for sandwiches and all that. And it tastes like regular white bread, but it tastes a little bit like better quality, as if it's like fresher. And I have the packaging here. It's in like Russian, a little bit cursive. Show you all. It might look backwards here, but I'm gonna pretty much read it here. Polushka, which is like plus Novo Moskovsky. Okay, so plus New Moscow. What do you call it instead of Russian? Like Russia's Russian, Moscow is Moscovian, I guess. So new Moscovian bread. That makes sense. Looks like a burger bun. What it is, I think it's like they twisted basically the dough and all that into this design here. So that's your regular white bread. That's like kind of a very popular thing. Then you have, oh, here's one that's new. So this is sort of like brand new here. Basically heart shaped. What else? Then you do also have your like regular sandwich bread, but this one tastes like it's old. Like it's not, um, what's it called? Like dry. If that makes sense. Um, I think it is a little bit larger than regular like American sandwich bread. Slightly larger for me, in my opinion. Then they also have like a lot of dry breads that are made to be dry, and it's sort of like um, meant to be like a dry bread that you kind of like chew on. Um, like this one is sort of like a pretzel, except for it's not like salty. Um, and it's covered in like seeds, and I think this is like poppy seeds or something here. What else? Then they also have something that's kind of like pretzel sticks. This is Salomka Solenaya. So it's salty, like basically it translates to salty straws. So it's like pretzel sticks. They're salty. So these are kind of like snack foods. What else? What else? I mean, that's the only bread that we have right now on us. I know they also sell like German bread. I think they also sell like rye bread. Says we have very small bread I can finish in 5 bites. Yeah, here it's like they sell all kinds of bread, so I'm very certain they would probably have that somewhere in the stores. And then my little sister likes this. This is name it says translates to kuza. That's what you say. It's like Kuza. It looks actually that's a kuzia. Basically, is what's supposed to be, not an A. Lakomkin. I don't know what Lakomkin is. I think that's a name. But this is like corn puffs or like puffy Cheetos if you had that, but these are like sweet. Um, yeah, they're kind of like chips basically, and they're pretty sweet. The only thing I can think of that's like this in the US is if you had Cheetos, but like the Cheeto puffs. That's the only thing I can think of, except for those are more like a savory cheese taste to it, while these are fairly sweet. Um, Other than that, they do also have a lot of fruits and vegetables. I think, for example, with apples, I don't believe they cover them in wax, but the apple's usually like a green red color. And they also grow fairly commonly around the city. but the people don't pick the apples that come into the city are from farms. Um, oh, what else? And they tend to be either average size or a little bit smaller than the ones in the U.S., but they tend to be more sweeter. Um, and then they also have your typical vegetables and all that. Like these are like cherry tomatoes here, cucumbers. What I do know they don't have a lot of is like they have some tropical fruit, but they don't have a lot. Like pineapples is not really easy to get. It's rare, but they do sell them, and typically people get it in like a can. Um, I haven't seen any fresh pineapples around anywhere. They do sell pumpkins, but the pumpkins tend to be they look a little wacky. Um, you hate the soft Cheetos? Yeah, I don't eat Cheetos at all. I used to probably eat them when I was like really young. Um, but pretty much pumpkins they do have in Russia. They do have watermelon. Watermelon's actually a lot more common than pumpkins. We went to the other day to one of my mom's friends' little homes that they have towards like the countryside, if that makes sense. And she's growing pumpkins in her yard. Uh, what else? I mean, that's pretty much like they have a lot of regular food except for it's like Russian version, and they do also import a lot of food, at least in St. Petersburg, from Finland, which, as far as I can tell, they seem to be the same quality, except for people have this mentality that Finnish food is of higher quality, but I think it's equal to Russian. What is this? The hard ones are better, especially the jalapeno. Yes, I do agree with that. I have a friend who loves eating the jalapeno Cheetos. I'm trying to think what else. So yeah, basically, since we've been living in the U.S., my cousin's been here, and he's kind of trashed the apartment a couple times. Like he did it this year, and he did it last year, and he's been doing it for a while, so he has a history of doing that. So like as an example, all these like handles here, he would like rip off. Um, some of the cabinet doors would be like sort of broken, or they would be like bent or something like that. Um, and my grandmother basically had them fix everything on our arrival. And they did sort of like that, or it was more like my uncle did, and cousin did whatever. So on the other side, we have the fridge here. This fridge is still broken, like the handle here is broken, so it's just these two little things here inside the fridge. Um, it's a decent fridge, except for it's old. So that's the refrigerator, and then you have the freezer below there. So a little bar stool there. Oh, we also have like Russian, like a book there, culinary book. What is this? LOL from the house to water to food to house again. Yeah. So just quickly show you what the bathrooms look like, because someone's going to ask out curiosities. This is like a regular toilet. This one we have like needs renovations. Like that wall there is broken. We had doors there that we had to be cut out so that it would go over the toilet seat there. Bathroom is sort of small, but not bad. It's like a regular shower here and all that. Yeah, light switches are different. This one is sort of weird. Like one is for the toilet, one's for the bathroom, one's for the kitchen. So yeah. What else? I showed living room already. Quickly show you the bedrooms here and show you what I'm walking to. We have one of the, I don't know what you call these, like I don't know what you call this, but apparently this is kind of like a popular thing in Russia to have these things around. Um, Especially during the 80s, I think it was really popular. Then this is the last room, the biggest bedroom, but no one really sleeps here. I'm gonna put the laptop here. So we have a piano there, which doesn't work well. It plays, but needs to be tuned. A lot of the keys, for some reason, don't play it very well. We have a lot of old family photos there, and it's kind of bright in this room here too. So, and this laptop is like kind of dusty and all that too. Um, yeah, pretty much we got a lot of stuff there. We have Soviet furniture here. I'll move for a second because this way you can kind of see color. So yeah, this is a Soviet chair basically. It's pretty well, except for it's old. And then my cousin's been kind of wrecking the place, so um, it does have some wear. I'm sitting on like a sofa here, um, that is like a decent sized sofa, and also it converts to a bed as well. What is this? Oh, my mom is doing something for her book on the 2nd of September. What is she doing for her book? Let's see here. What else? What else? What else? There's also a bookshelf that's stacked with a bunch. It's all like Russian books. We have a little mirror and like a cabinet here, that just has some like statues, like a tiger statue, and just stuff that like my grandmother has collected over the years. Um, Here we go. So this is like a Russian like bookshelf here, just full on stuff like, and it's like combination of like a mix of all kinds of Russian stuff. So you have Russian American or Russian English books. Like you have like my grandfather collected. Let me see what he has here. Fenimore Cooper. I don't know who that is, but the name sounds familiar to me. Um, Alexander Dumas. So Alexander Dumas. So that's like Count of Monte Cristo. So we have that, but this is all in Russian. Um, and then some Russian I'm not too familiar with. And then Soviet stuff, like you have Lenin's news, you have Marshal Zhukov, so that Russian general in World War II, very famous guy. What else? What else? Stalingrad, like a lot of war books that my grandfather loved reading. Um, what else? Random adventure stories, love stories, that like romance fiction and all that. Yeah, basically a whole collection of stuff. I don't want to go about reading everything, but like history of the USSR, Soviet Union stuff, and kind of like typical Russian stuff. But my grandfather wants for me to bring books over from the USSR or Russia, basically, to the US, um, which is going to be an extremely difficult thing because, I mean, in my mind, realistically, what would have to do is bring some books back when we leave in like, what is that, 9, 8 days or so. And then we have a ton of boxes of like stuff, which is like combination of my cousin's stuff, my mom's old stuff from her childhood. Um, oh, and of course, as every Russian, um, oh, this chair here is broken. We have a. This is heavy. We have a Lenin statue here. This is him writing some like paper or something the other. Let me put this back. I don't even know who the heck got this statue, but I mean, it's a collectible thing at this point. Um, what else? What else? We also have another bedroom. What is this? I'm so jealous because it's not raining for you. We've been getting like nonstop rain. Um, I'll tell you what's really good here. So in Charlotte, I'm going to go by Celsius right now. So in Charlotte, the average temperature right now is like 35 to 45 degrees Celsius, which is extremely bad, especially right now it's like 45. In Russia, where we are, I think it's normal average temperature. Oh, 1 second. Let me figure out why this got turned the light off in the bathroom. The average temperature is, let me find out in just a second. my phone right next to me here. We'll find out right quick. Sit down. Good thing this laptop is not very heavy. Okay, yeah, so it's basically been like 45 degrees in Charlotte nonstop. In St. Petersburg, it is. We switch from Fahrenheit to Celsius. And I go by Celsius here because I feel like, to me, in my mind, like here, Celsius makes more sense. So right now, the average is about 20 to 23 degrees when it's sunny. And right now, it just says 23, 24, 25, 22. So in Fahrenheit, it's about 70s. So it's a lot cooler right now here than it is in the US. When it's raining, it gets down to like 15 degrees average Celsius. At night, the lowest that it's gone down to 7 here. So it's actually, the weather here is very nice compared to what's going on in the US. We've been getting a lot of rain here too, but right now we're in an area a weather zone right now where it's supposed to be like sunny for a couple of days. So I'm gonna be walking around in like short sleeve shirts and all that fashion quickly in Russia. So everyone walks around in jeans almost all the time. Only you got a couple people who walk in something different. Like I don't really like wearing jeans in general. Like I wear them sometimes. Like I was wearing them all the time when I first got in here, but then I don't know, just wasn't really comfortable. Let's see what else has been going on. Oh, I'll go before I forget. I want to show the last bedroom here. And I have my grandfather sleeping in this room here. So let me see. Hey, привет. Ты вставать будешь?
Да, я.
Okay, my grandfather's actually busy. He wants to get up and go to the restroom. What else has been going on? I'm gonna put. Actually, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the kitchen, or let me see if I can go. Let me see what my grandfather's doing right quick. Чем занимаешься?
Нет,
Что отдохнул? Будешь лежать или что?
нет, просто почему.
One second here. So I try to figure out what to do here. Oh, there's no place for me to put the laptop there. There's another balcony here. I might go to that room later, but I'm gonna go to the kitchen because I've been trying to, like, I do have some Russia videos on the Thai Company Gaming channel. Let me see if I can somehow. Oh, there's not a place I can really put this easily. But yeah, basically you got your. That's not really showing much, is it? Trying to figure out how in the world I'm going to stream this. So yeah, I don't know how to really stream exactly that well. I'm going to show what quickly like a regular hallway looks like. Wait, you look like someone I know. 1 second as I try to figure out how to open this door. I want to quickly show what things look like in the hallway here because we have a hallway and it's like really Soviet looking. We have a door here that's like have a heavy metal lock. 1 second, I'm trying to one hand open this door. Oh, this is not working. 1 second. I'm trying to figure out how to get this open. Okay, cool, it's open. I'm gonna quickly walk around here. So yeah, this is like a regular apartments. You got like 7 other entrance doors there. I'm gonna put some slippers on because the floor there is like dirty. 1 second here. All right, let me go into the hallway here. So you basically use your regular hallway. And then you have like a door here, which goes to elevators. And everything's like in Russian there as well, just to show you. Which is exit in Russian. Prepare to get very tired once you get into the US. Why is that? Oh, because of the time zone difference? 1 second here. All right, that door there is locked. I'll tell you what, I've been having trouble getting adjusted to Russian time because it's right now it's a 7-hour difference, and then for you it'd be like 8 hours, I think. Okay. Now the funniest thing is I'm actually closer to Dan now. Since he's in Vietnam, I imagine it's like a 5-hour difference. 2:30. Wow. Yeah, I can't believe it's that big of a difference, but yeah, it's a whole different world here. Oh, what else has been going on? I don't think what else. We pretty much have been traveling around to all the different tourist sites. I haven't really been putting many videos from Russia trips on Thigh Company Gaming, but on my other channel, I have, which is the Alexander McKinnon one. 1 second. Oh, no. Что?
Иди сюда. Как ты убрал? Так, включай.
1 sec. Что?
Иди сюда быстро. Так,
Чего?
я бабушке. Мне табак.
А я посмотрю потом. Я не знаю, где договоримся с этим человеком.
Смотри, пожалуйста.
Sorry, grandfather is asking about different stuff. Fighting to stay awake so I won't be able to. Yeah, I think Dan might be like possibly online. I'm gonna have to. What's the battery doing here? Okay, so I've and also a big thing because it's Russia, which is also uses European circuitry. You have European outlets, which is different from the US. Try to plug in the laptop here. There we go. So like this laptop here uses European stuff, so I probably would just end up like buying a US adapter or something once I get back. Just get something like on eBay. Oh, what else? Pretty much. I can't remember everything off the top of my head, but other than that, it is kind of difficult for me to sleep here. It's like a lot easier to fall asleep in the US than here. And pretty much that's been like the biggest like negative, I think. It's just maybe because the Soviet furniture is like old and it's not comfortable, and then what I have now is not really comfortable either. Because it's like sleeping on a sofa instead of sleeping on a bed, and the sofa is like not soft really. Like this one that we have now is better than the Soviet stuff, but it's not that like comfortable, I would say. But yeah, since I can get this to live stream now, I can probably start doing some gaming stuff. So it's easier to sleep on your left side than the right. Huh. I think that is true. Because I mean, when I try to fall asleep in general, to me, I feel like that's the same. Uh, what else? I know last night was like really difficult because it was like unusually like hot at night, and we had an issue of mosquitoes, which to me that's I don't know why we had mosquito problems because we're living on the 15th floor of a 16th floor apartment, but they still somehow like fly up, which I don't know how. Um, so that for some reason is a problem, which to me is like how in the world is that happening? Um, but yeah, pretty much that's been what's going on for the most part. And since it's like 3 o'clock for you, I don't want to really get everyone. Um, what's it called? Like, have you wake up very like bad? What is this? I hate squeeters. What are squeeters? Are those? Oh, the mosquitoes. Um, yeah, I don't know why, but what's even stranger is that my uncle says he can't even hear them. But I hear them, and I don't know why, but they haven't really been biting me. But they've been like biting my little sister, and I don't know, I'm just gonna feel bad for her. Uh, what else? So, oh, and also quickly the TV. Now that I remember, we have this like no, not LG. I'm sorry, it's a Sharp TV. There's no buttons on the TV at all, so I don't know how to really operate it without the remote. And for some reason, it's not really working that well. Um, and it's really strange. It's like it crashes, and like I don't really watch Russian TV on it. I can get up on YouTube with it, which is cool because it's like a smart TV. Um, but even when it's on YouTube, it like crashes sometimes. Last year we did watch like the FIFA World Cup with it, which was fun. Um, oh, in terms of like people who are here, you do see some tourists, but it's definitely not at all what was compared to with last year. Um, and all I haven't really seen any like crazy tourists. Like you do get people from all over the world. There's a lot of Chinese tourists here. Um, a lot of like Arabic speakers here, and just like regular European people from all over. Um, good number of Spanish speakers. Um, I think I've only like seen like one French person here. Um, and it's really, I think the weirdest thing is you don't really see a lot of people from like Africa here. You do see one, like once every 3 days or so, which is really weird. How is the health system there? So healthcare here is very interesting. Um, my grandfather hates the healthcare system here. I am not a big fan with it. However, the plus side of it is that you can get free healthcare. So you can be sick and then go to hospital and they'll take care of you for free. But it's not like what you would see in like the West. Um, like last year was really weird because like my grandfather he got sick and we called paramedics and they came over and they're like, well, who's going to take him to the ambulance? And so we ended up having to like wake up people. And luckily, my grandmother, and this was like 2 in the morning um, over here. So everyone's like asleep. But luckily, my grandmother found you hate the US healthcare system. Um, I'm not a fan of it. I haven't really been sick in the US. Like in general, I feel like I would be healthier in the US right now than in Russia, but it kind of depends on, where you are, what you're doing and all that. Um, like I remember one time I was sick. I don't even know what I had. And I went to the doctor for like a checkup and the bill was like over $300. While here it'd be like for free. However, there is rumors that there's corruption in the healthcare system. Like people won't do as good as the job unless you like bribe them or something or the other. Um, but as far as I can tell, I haven't seen any of that. There it is a rumor though. Trying to think what else. Funniest thing is I can't seem to remember everything that I wanted to talk about in the stream. What else? What else? What else? Oh, once again to Russia, everything is like all the ads and everything turned to Russian. There's a lot of ads for like Russian social media. What is this? The only thing you need to pay for here is the equipment. So when you say equipment, I'm assuming that's like say if you're getting a cast, you would pay for the cast. Here it's fairly free. Like they'll give you free shots, free like medicine, as far as I can tell. But there are a lot of pharmacies. It's like a knee brace you would pay for. Okay. But there is some medicines that are difficult to find here. Like, I'm trying to think of one example. When I came over here, there's a lot of dust in the apartment, and I was having allergies for like 5 days straight. Um, Cast is free if you can get it right. I think that's what you're saying there. Let's see here. What else? Oh, another funny thing. This laptop has both English and Russian letters on it. So that's kind of fun to look at here. Let me see if I can even do that here. You know, it's not going to work well. You can get it white. Okay. Trying to think what else. Oh, transportation here is fairly cheap. Like taxis are cheaper on average than the US, but depends on like who you get, and then if they know that you're like from the West, like US or something, they'll try to charge you what do you call foreigner prices, and it's like a lot of places they kind of scam here. Not everywhere, but like um, you do have to watch out, make sure everything is good. In terms of like crime or anything like that, I haven't seen anything that's bad, but there have been like you do get to see like a lot of sketchy people around here. Um, there's a lot of people who come from like other former Soviet places. Like you have a ton of people from like the stands. So it's like your Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, places that are kind of like close to like Arabic speaking countries. So you have a lot of that. What do you call ethnic groups here? But they're not like everywhere. They're they're around enough that you see them. Um, oh, what else? What else? Downtown is kind of to give you an average price of taxis, it's something like around 1,000 rubles at most, like on average. However, when we get from like one part of the city to the apartment, it's like 400. Like it's always less than 500 rubles, so it's always less than. It's about like 63 rubles to $1. What I do is I divide everything by 50, in my mind, but it's like always less than like $8 to get from one place to another. So transportation costs are very cheap, especially if you're taking like a bus or the metro. Um, the they have like 3 or 4 main types of transportation systems here. Technically, I would say it's more like 7 or 8 because you can take boats here. I've seen people take helicopters, but we haven't taken any helicopters. I have taken like a boat around here before, but that's like only like downtown where you would take a boat. but the cheapest transportation system would be they have these little things like little vans that pick people from like the apartment to like the metro, which is like 29 rubles, which is like less than 50 cents, um, or about 50 cents or so. Buses are like 40 rubles, which is more like 60, 70 cents. The metro is 45. $1 Canadian into Russian ruble. Let me figure out what that is because it's about 63 rubles for $1. I imagine it being something like 60 or 55 or so, but let me find out for sure. Okay. My grandfather's calling me. Что надо? All right, I'm on the Google right now looking up the prices. So $1 Canadian is 48.2 Russian rubles. So that's what it is right now. However, the currency things fluctuate all the time. So I would compare it to like 50 to a dollar to Canadian dollar. I'm not yelling at him. He's actually like in a very far off room, so he can hear me. So technically yelling, I guess. But be right back. I'm gonna see what he's up to right quick. So nada. Okay, so okay, I can show you quickly the other bedroom right quick. Um, so this is where my grandfather sleeps in, like the room. So it's like a regular bedroom here. There's like a little crib there. It's another like balcony there. Um, but this is where he stays most of the time. Let me see if I can even get to the other balcony. I'm gonna try. Some of the doors are like really weird here. Okay, I got that door open. And there's like a shelf here. Что значит опасно? My grandfather says the balcony here is dangerous, but it's basically hanging clothes here. It's just another balcony, but I want to see if I can place the laptop somewhere to make it. I'm gonna try this out 1 second here. It's really hard to move the laptop. Подожди секунду. So I'm gonna try to show the laptop place here. It's not easy, and I'm kind of like one-handing. Oh, this is really uncomfortable. 1 second. It's like a lot of clothes here. What do the beds look like? Okay, so there's only one. It's actually only like one real bed here. And it's like really low, and it's not soft at all. It's like a bed frame and then a bunch of like small like blankets, and we have this very thin mattress here. And that's grandfather here. But yeah, beds are very uncomfortable here. My big problem is that the beds are like short. So I'm thinking because they're made in the Soviet Union, perhaps on average people were shorter, maybe. I don't know, but it's just this bed in particular is short. The Soviet like sofa that we have in our room is short as well, so it's like too small for me. Basically, if I'm sleeping on this bed, my feet are up in the air. The new sofa that we got is the one where I sleep on. Does your grandfather understand English? He knows some English. Дедушка,
Yes.
по-английски можешь, что вы знаете по-английски? Поговорить по-английски.
Я ничего не знаю.
He
I
said,
don't speak English.
he's saying he doesn't speak English. He can kind of talk sometimes, like some words, some phrases, some sentences, but he can't really talk in English that well. Like when they moved to when they moved to the US at first, they did take a lot of English classes and they had like a better like speaking English ability. Like they do have citizenship, like US citizenship, so they can
Слышь,
okay, so he said вы по-английски говорите? Как
Да.
что вы можете говорить?
thank you.
Что?
Thank you.
Well, you can say thank you. Что еще можете говорить? Ну, скажи, меня зовут.
My name is Boris.
So he can say like, my name is Boris.
My last name Коврижник.
So you can say my last name is Kovrizhnev.
Yeah.
So like you can kind of say like simple English stuff. What else?
I was born in Leningrad. I was born in Leningrad.
So he can say I was born in Leningrad, which is the former
1936.
Yeah, 1936. So he can say
7 December.
He's saying I was in December. So he knows like some basic English. So my concern is once I get back into US, I have to get my voice, I guess, adjusted or my speaking adjusted to regular English because I'm, speaking Russian most of the time here.
My grandson has big ears.
Trying to say my grandson has a big heart. Didn't you know that English is the hardest language to learn? Вы знаете, что английский это одно из самых трудных языков изучать?
Нет, это не самый трудный.
He says it's not the hardest. А какой самый трудный тогда?
Ну, китайский язык трудный.
I asked him what
China.
if English is not the hardest, which one is it? And he's saying Chinese.
Арабские языки.
Arabski. He's saying Arabic is difficult. There's also a lot of because a lot of Chinese tourists. What's weird is like Russian is the main language, like the official language, and then English is like a second language here, and then Chinese is like a third, but it's trying to like catch up to become a second. Just because of the proximity of Russia to China, like you literally, could walk to China from Russia, or in this case, you'd probably take a train or fly over there.
Вообще восточные языки, арабские и другие, они трудные. Ну, вьетнамский язык имеет, я не знаю, сотни оттенков. Каждая деревня говорит на своем языке, и просто какой-то звук произносится. Это очень трудно.
So he's saying that in general, Eastern languages are difficult to learn, especially like Chinese and Arabic. It's actually proven that English is the hardest to learn if you were just introduced to it. Мне здесь друг говорит, что вообще там было показано, что английский это одно из самых трудных языков изучать, особенно если вы только что были знакомы с его. Только что были знакомы с его. Понятно?
Понятно.
Yeah, I'm just translating what you're writing here.
Андерсон.
Understand. what else? So what's interesting is there are accents in Russian. Like you got the regular Russian accents, and what's really strange is apparently a lot of Russians here in St. Petersburg think that my mom is not from St. Petersburg, even though she is. We've had people say that she's pre-Baltic, which is like what they're the term that they're using, which is implying that she's either from Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, even though she's not at all. My mom did want to travel to some
В
of those.
Финляндии были,
Что?
в Финляндии были,
Кто?
мама, нет?
Не знаю. He's asking if my mom's been to Finland. I'm like, well, I don't really know. She's because we've been in the airport.
Она и была, поехали, ну, на автобус села и ездила.
Я не помню, что она в Финляндию ехала, но она ехала.
Ездила от Московского
He's
вокзала.
saying that he remembers that my mom took like a bus to Finland once.
Экскурсия была.
Excursia была.
Ну да, они
Says it was an excursion
просто ездили там.
and they just traveled there. So Russian is kind of difficult because it's sort of like a mix of Latin and Greek, but you have that combined with like, you know, the Slavic language. So that's kind of like what Russian is. Your grandfather is nice. There's no need to cry. What's really strange is that, like in 2014, he did have a stroke, so he was like paralyzed on his left side. But what I am able to do, like he can walk. He has trouble like moving his left arm sometimes, but he can move it. What he needs to do is to continuously exercise and make physical activity every day. And the thing is, he does not like. He's very like lazy, and so you have to push him. As an example, back in Charlotte, he would be able to walk. Like the nurses, like people who health professionals, tell him, hey, he needs to walk at least 1 kilometer. Or I don't really use. We don't use kilometers, so I'm trying to think of an example to compare it to. But he's supposed to walk like at least a lap or like 30 minutes or something like that. But what I end up doing, like once we walked for like a good 2 hours, and I know he can easily do physical exercise. The problem is that he needs to be pushed to do physical activity. And what I mean is that I lost both my grandparents last year, and he reminds me of them. Oh, well, мне друг говорит, что он потерял его дедушки и бабушки год назад. И он как-то чуть-чуть расстроен по этому, но я не знаю, что лучше сказать. Что считаете?
Ну, понимаешь, это уже от смерти никто не избавлен. Поэтому надо просто пережить это.
He's saying that it is part of life, but he says that due to the nature, you do have to, you know, work past that. And I take that idea into consideration to myself as well. So what I do is I try to record as much as I can. Like he's 81. Сколько у вас уже год? В следующем декабре вы будете 82 или 83? 3 уже. So he's 82. And be turning 83 in December. So because of that, I do try to record as much as I can. Like I constantly make photos, videos, because what I find is that this way you have something to look back to that will remind you of them. If it was up to me, if I knew how to do that, this program, I would think would be nice to create a program where like a computer would like record basically like a Siri, but instead of having a Siri to have like your grandparents' voice, that way you could kind of ask questions, and so it kind of feels like there's a conversation going on. But I mean, it is a difficult thing to work with. Like what was really bad was like my uncle, he lost his son in 2016, so that's really a really difficult thing for him to work with, which we do help him out with, but it is a difficult thing. But what I want to do is I would like to change the subject to make it a more positive thing. What else have we been doing? Девушка, чем вы занимались в России?
Я когда начал, ну, в 15-16 слесарь, я не знаю, как по-английски это, слесарь-инструментальщик, работал на заводе, ну, слесарь, это я не знаю как, слесарь по-немецки, а
I asked him what we have been doing in Russia so far, and he's talking about how he used to work on some factory.
потом работал на обувной фабрике,
Фабрики какого?
обувной, делают обувь, тут же где делают.
Used to work in a shoe factory at one point. Trying to think what else. He has like a background in like. Вы где учились? На чем? Какую специальность?
Инженер-экономист,
Инженер-экономист?
да,
Типа экономист, что ли? Как типа?
да. Yes.
So I asked him, what is your like professional background? One of my grandpas used to be in World War II. Он говорит, что одной из его дедушки были в Вторую мировую войну. Одно из его.
Играли во Вторую мировую войну.
What was his like what did he do in World War II? Да, он говорит, что это мой друг, который я говорю сейчас, он из Канады. Там вообще разница вообще огромная. Там сейчас вообще 3 часа утра.
Ну, там, да, от Гринвича сюда мы идем влево.
Да. Trying to think what else has been going on. He was in the infantry. Был как солдат. Well, Roost, I'll tell you what I've been thinking about doing, because I actually do want to...
Дедушка тоже был солдат.
Он какой солдат?
Ну, какой? Советской армии.
Ну, обычный солдат или...
Да, артиллерист.
Okay. I know one of my...
7 лет воевал.
7 лет?
Да, финскую 2 года. Ну, была финская война с финнами. И 5 лет вторая война.
So one of my great-grandfathers was an artillerist, and he actually served in the army for 7 years, which was like 2 years before World War II. There was some like conflict with like Russia and Finland, and then 5 years, like from 1939 to 45, in World War II. So he had a long time there. But yeah, so Rooster, what I'm thinking about doing, since it's one late for you, and how did you learn English with great ease? So English is my first language. Russian, I do have trouble speaking Russian. Like I'm not able to really write that well. But I pretty much, I guess, learned Russian from growing up. But English is my first language, and I've been living in the U.S. for most of my life. Like I've only been to Russia a handful of times. And then I went to school in the U.S. and I'm have a 2-year degree from the college in the U.S. and right now I'm in university in the U.S. So because of that, and then my father's American. So that pretty much English is my first language, then Russian, and then I learned Spanish for a couple years, so I kind of know Spanish. However, I do need to like pretty much practice it, and I need to find somebody who I can practice speaking Spanish with, and the only person I can think of I mean, I can't really think of much people. I mean, it's just something I would need to practice with. What else? What else? But yeah, I'm pretty much what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna end the stream now. I want to research what games I'm able to play on the laptop because there's a lot of like.
Скажи лучше о Ленинграде, что это красивый город. Там есть музеи, так.
My grandfather is inviting you to come visit St. Petersburg. He says it's a really good city that you might like to visit. But yeah, I'm saying what I was thinking about saying was because it's very late, like 3 o'clock in the morning for you, and I want to research some games that I can play. I think
комната в этом.
he says there's a lot of things to visit. I'm gonna research some games I can play, and I might possibly do like a live stream of the games. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. So yeah, thank you for watching the stream. So I'm going to probably continue something. Let's see, like this night. So whenever nighttime happens, or maybe in like
Город фонтанов.
4 or 5 hours, maybe. So, because for me, what's strange is like 8 o'clock in the morning for me in the U.S. over there is like it's just a really weird difference. So because of that, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. So thank you for watching, and I'll make a stream very soon. See you, or see the viewers all next time. I was here as soon as you start the stream. Yes, thank you for that. All right, so I am going to end the stream now. All right, see you all next time. Bye now. Stream.
Он из Торонто, товарищ.
Нет, он не из Торонто, он из города Эдмонтон.